Sudden flood of asylum requests at U.S.-Mexico border as it looks like the Congress may be set to create the North American Union and get rid of the borders. And if you think more cheap labor is going to help this country when the government has a welfare state going, I got a bridge I want to sell you. We're going to be breaking that down. Here's the London Guardian. The NSA is turning the internet into a total surveillance system. I saw that headline on Drudge Saturday, and I went and search engined that with Infowars.com at the end of it and found hundreds of links with similar headlines in the last 15 years with us saying exactly that. Not again tooting my horn, but we didn't just say the whole internet's designed by DARPA to be a total control grid, to create the mind of God, to predict the future. Because I have media call me and go, you think they want to be God? You say they want to predict the future? No, I don't say that. They say that. I'm just, all the stuff that they were saying in white papers is now public. That's the, and I don't know if that's all going to happen. I don't know if they're going to get Elysium level life extension, but that's the goal they're shooting for. They've got one of the heads of Google and others openly saying they're going to build space colonies for the elite. People ask, well, how will the atmosphere work? That spacecraft in Elysium is a 1940s, 50s design of a spinning space station that would hold the atmosphere in if it was big enough for a ring world type plan. The problem is it'd have to be contained unless it was ultra massive. The spinning would give you gravity, not hold the atmosphere in. It would have to be, I don't know, some estimates are like 1,000 miles around and spinning fast enough to hold the atmosphere in. But it's a side issue. The point is, this is the type of stuff they're developing. This isn't science fiction. We're living in the 21st century. Buck Rogers, baby. Briefly, American Drug War II, Cannabis Destiny. We are the exclusive distributor of this, exposing how deadly the real drug war is and how the CPS is drugging kids. It gets into pharmaceuticals, all of it. Very powerful film available, InfoWarsStore.com. All right, going back to Watson. Watson, in the 3-4 minutes we've got left, comments on the outrageous statements of Obama coming out and saying, you know, we're spying on you. It's like washing dishes. And, you know, I'd be concerned too, but I'm in there. I know it's for your own good. I mean, man, this is bone-chilling when you know he's doing everything he can to shut this country down.
Well, I mean, a primary portion of that program is the Insider Threat program, which is all about preventing insiders, whistleblowers, from revealing government malfeasance. So it's not just about spying on the American people, it's about spying on those that would reveal wrongdoing on behalf of the US government. But now the new dimension to it, which has been developing over the past few days, is the former NSA chief Michael Hayden's comments a few days ago. He basically came out and said that people who oppose NSA mass surveillance, people who support Edward Snowden, are either cyber terrorists or Al-Qaeda sympathizers. He said that if they can't create great harm to .mil, who are they going to go after? Who for them are the World Trade Centers as they were for Al-Qaeda. So he's basically saying those who oppose NSA mass surveillance, those who support Edward Snowden, are akin to Al-Qaeda, and they're going to carry out attacks like Al-Qaeda. And then he's on CBS Face the Nation yesterday saying not if, but when the next terror attack happens, that's when the NSA is going to be justified. That's when they're going to aggressively put into
Stay there. Do 5 more minutes with us. Stay there. I want you to finish up that thought, because 2 + 2 = 4. They get more terror. They get more power. Who's behind the terror?
This is GCN, the Genesis Communications Radio Network.
It's hurricane and wildfire season again. Why do thousands of people sit in these reoccurring problem areas year after year, betting their lives that the disaster won't get them? Hundreds of you helped eFoods Direct ship 50,000 donated meals to the Oklahoma victims. The problem is we can't help everybody. If every one of us who can will take care of ourselves, we can all pitch in to take care of those who really can't. The new Just In Case pack from eFoods Direct is the big brother to the 7-day emergency pack designed for Oklahoma disaster donations. It contains a 2-month supply for one person, or a 1-month supply for 2 adults, or a 2-week supply for a family of 4. The $320 price is $50 less than retail. Call 800-409-5633 on the web efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Order 2 or more, get 10% off, free shipping applies. Call 800-409-5633 on the web efoodsdirect.com/Alex.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Paul Watson joins us from the UK, breaking down our top story so far today up on Infowars.com. Official embassy attack threat had no basis. In fact, McClatchy newspaper is reporting that as well. In fact, they broke it, and then Drudge picked up our story that carries it with further analysis. But going back to Paul Watson, you were getting into Hayden. And we have that clip, actually. In fact, maybe we should cue that up. Michael Hayden says that if there's any more events, they will expand more power. They've already got the total grid in place. They've already got the total grid in place. And then now they're just going to roll it out to you, each event saying, see, it's for your own good. And, oh, we stopped this attack. Oh, we stopped that attack. And they've been caught staging events or putting out fake terror alerts. This is elementary. We take your rights when bad things happen. So bad things are going to happen. Gee, who do you think's behind it? Who has the motive? Who has the history? Who's done it before? Who has the capacity to do it? I mean, this isn't even 2 + 2 = 4. And it's just so outrageous. And then we sent Leanne McAdoo out, one of our Infowars nightly news reporters, twice in Austin. And the majority of people said, I want to be spied on. I want to be watched. Now, it's always in trendy areas. You go to working class areas or even wealthy areas, people are smart. But if it's trendies, it's over, folks. They believe, because it's Obama. They say, just like Obama said, hey, trust me, it's me. Unbelievable. And he has such a history of lying. Plus, he's a puppet. I mean, Watson, this is amazing. What do these people think?
I think, like you said, they're rolling it out in the open to justify it. Remember, they've had it since the early 90s. They've had Echelon. You were talking about it back in the 90s. There's a BBC article from 1999 which says, every international telephone call, fax, email, or radio transmission can be listened to by powerful computers capable of voice recognition. They home in on a long list of keywords or patterns of messages. And that was Echelon Spy Network revealed November 1999. So it's everything that they say they've got now. It was revealed, 14, 15 years ago.
And the only reason Snowden's in trouble is because he has moral authority, because he's in the government, according to the sheeple. He's in trouble for saying it's bad, not for breaking any secrets.
Exactly. And now Hayden, as I said before the break, this was his quote from this bipartisan policy center speech. He said that Snowden's followers were nihilists, anarchists, activists, lulsec, anonymous 20-somethings who haven't talked to the opposite sex in 5 or 6 years. So polls show that about half of Americans actually oppose this NSA surveillance, yet Hayden is characterizing them all as basement-dwelling losers who are just messing around on the internet. So he denigrates them in that sense, but then he goes on to equate them to terrorists in another sense. So now we've got the whole process about anyone who opposes NSA surveillance is with Al-Qaeda, even as they send the weapons to Al-Qaeda in Syria. And now Hayden, as he said, is all over CBS saying there's going to be an attack. And when it happens, all you complain about the NSA are going to be shut up because we're going to put this into action.
Watson, let's be honest. Neither you nor I, we don't have wives or girlfriends. Come on. I mean, we're basement dwellers.
Well, yeah, I mean, Jimmy Carter, Glenn Greenwald, Daniel Ellsberg, they're all just, 16-year-old basement dwelling kids on the internet, I guess.
All right, great job, Watson. We'll get more from you as it unfolds and breaks at Infowars.com. We're going to go out to break here with Hayden. This is the former head of the NSA making some of his sniveling, degenerate comments. I think he's the one that can't pick up any women. Let's go to that clip.
It may be useful for transparency.
You think women would touch that guy?
For confidence, but let me tell you, all right, looking through your windscreen when you lay this on, it just looks like more thorough oversight. Okay, when you're looking in your rearview mirror after the next successful attack, this runs the danger of looking like bureaucratic layering.
If I saw him, I'd run.
With over 3,000 years of historic use, pure silver continues to be one of nature's most reliable and effective agents against fighting viruses, mold, fungus, bacteria, pathogens, and parasites. At Silver Lungs, we have developed a reliable and easy-to-use full production system for creating endless pure nano-silver solutions right from the convenience and comfort of your home. Your self-produced nano-silver solutions can be applied topically to the skin. For many who are new to silver that wish to try silver for the first time, we offer a full line of consumables and cosmetics, such as our 2-ounce nano-silver nasal sprays, our nano-silver soap, and our most popular product, the all-natural nano-silver gel. Visit www.silverlungs.com to learn more about the industry-leading technology of the Silver Lungs system. That's www.silverlungs.com.
Are we choosing our own destiny, or has it been pre-selected for us?
As we've moved through history, every great leader has had to understand the potential of information.
Billions of dollars have been spent privately and publicly looking at how to tap into your psyche.
From compulsory state education to the Hollywood media brainwashing machine, we are kept in perpetual bondage to the ideas that shape our actions.
When somebody obscures that feedback loop between you observing and testing it out and verifying it, they can take total control of your awareness.
All of this is happening so fast, you need to be ahead of the game.
How to engineer the opinion of the American people so that they would not only endorse but demand a war.
Oh, there's another one. Another plane just hit.
State of Mind, because there's a war on for your mind. Get your copy of State of Mind, the movie, at Infowars.com. And remember, every order at InfoWarsStore.com receives a free citizen rulebook.
Dozens of diseases ranging from the common cold and flu to MRSA and pneumonia are all caused by infectious pathogens. Fortunately, a simple, safe, and effective alternative exists. Supernatural Silver is a new and vastly improved type of silver solution that is safe and extremely effective against 143 types of bacteria, both forms of viruses, mold and yeast, and a limited number of parasites. It can even purify water. Supernatural Silver comes in both liquid and gel for internal or external use. With over 180 scientific studies by independent universities, hospitals, research institutions, and nursing homes, Supernatural Silver is a powerful weapon in the fight against disease. To see how Supernatural Silver can give you and your loved ones protection and peace of mind, go to supernaturalsilver.com. Use the promo code PROTECTED for 20% off and like us on Facebook.
with your friends.
KLN, Los Angeles. Clone Radio. We play the songs that sound more like everyone else than anyone else. Clone.
Hitler took the guns. Stalin took the guns. Mao took the guns. Fidel Castro took the guns. Hugo Chavez took the guns. 1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms. The Republic will rise again when you attempt to take our guns.
I have sworn upon the altar of God eternal hostility against every form of tyranny over the mind of man.
The answer to 1984 is 1776.
Yeah!
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
in to hour number 2, broadcasting worldwide from the Infowars.com studios. I am the maniac of liberty, your host, Alex Jones, coming to you from deep in the heart of Texas, Austin. We are here, ladies and gentlemen, hour number 2. The news websites are prisonplanet.com and Infowars.com. You can follow me at Twitter at Real Alex Jones and find my other reporters and great crew as well there at Real Alex Jones. You can find the free podcast, free iPhone and Droid apps, and everything else in the free video feed for the daytime radio show at Infowars.com/show. All right, here's what's going on right now. I want to get into some of the news I haven't gotten to yet that's extremely important. Then we've got investigative journalist Heidi Stevenson on the dreaded Gardasil vaccine being banned in different countries all over the world right now. And, well, guess what? It reduces your fertility in a new study. Oh, man, who would have thought that? I mean, come on, what do you think they're doing? That's how dumb they think you are. We're not in Kansas anymore. And the only thing this criminal conspiracy against humanity needs to succeed is for people to be naive. So that's coming up. And then we're going to have open phones. Open phones. I'm serious. I think you guys ought to mount like a taser gun. I mean, not a full power, but like a hot shot cattle prod in the seat in here. Be the first radio show to ever do it, to where when I take calls, if I don't get to at least 20 in an hour, I get shocked. That'd be a good gimmick. Or I could be waterboarded. We could come in with a waterboard because it's not torture. And then you guys could waterboard me. I want to do that. It's a nice gimmick as well. We could pull more stunts out there. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on this Monday worldwide live transmission. Let's first get into Elysium and how it segues into sudden flood of asylum seekers request at the U.S.-Mexico border, according to KSAZ, Fox Phoenix, and Breitbart. This is up on drudgereport.com. Now, before I go there, I got home from the funeral about 7 o'clock. My great-uncle died, went to his military funeral in East Texas. Got home about 7 o'clock last night, was dropping my parents off, and they said, oh, go ahead and come on in. And they leave Turner Classic Movies on for their French Bulldog. It likes television. So we go in there, and the Grapes of Wrath is on when I walk into their foyer. And the dog is sitting there watching television. I'm not joking. You know, a lot of you probably have pets that watch television as well. French Bulldogs do it particularly. We had TV on a few days ago, and my French Bulldog was watching it. And to make a long story short, it's a movie about the Depression, and it's openly communist. It's got an FDR character, the Workers' Committee, they're going to take over. And it shows Okies going out to California, it's historically true, by the hundreds of thousands, and it overflowing, and people getting mad about being overrun. Some of it was crime as well. Not a lot of the Okies weren't criminals, but you get hundreds of thousands of people coming, and there's going to be some crime, especially when folks are desperate. So it bills the police and all the locals as exploitive demons who are ripping everybody off, but the unions get together and they defeat it. And it makes you want to become a communist watching it. That's why Elysium made me so mad, is because I like a lot of the messages in it. A lot of it's true. It's powerful. I want to help people in the third world more than anybody. I mean, I get upset when I've been in Mexico and watch police mainly shake down the locals and not the gringos. You know, the folks visiting from the north, El Norte. So I have empathy with everybody, ladies and gentlemen, but I also get that people tend to always organize in groups. That is, people that are dumbed down, whether they be white, Hispanic, black, it doesn't matter. That's something that works at an animal level, at a mob rule level. And even the smartest person, 10 days without food, will turn into a murderer within 15 days. 97%, according to Pentagon studies, of people turn into cannibals. 15 days, folks. 15 days. People will put your baby on a spit, and they will suck the meat right off the bones. Okay? Okay. So let's get real here. You've got 7.5 billion people worldwide. You've got the United States, because it had basic liberty and private property rights, became the most wealthy country in the world and was exploitive as well. Every other country was, every other tribe, every other group. This is the bad part of humanity. The West just did it better than everybody else, but also had a weird vein of free market in it. That's what made the colonialism more powerful than other people's exploitation, because it was supercharged with free market. And limited rights to limited groups, but still, first it was only royalty had power and rights. Then it was nobility under them. Then it was sub-nobility. Then it was Magna Carta expanded in to the entire population in England. Then the colonies didn't have power. They were treated like slaves. They said, hey, we're going to get the same rights as an Englishman. I don't care if you're Dutch, German, Italian, and then Native American or black. It just went down that. I mean, some of the German city-states didn't free their slaves till the 1880s. White slaves, folks. White slaves. You'll never see that on the news or in a movie because they want blacks to have an inferiority complex and think of everything as racial. I mean, if you want to get down to brass tacks, North Africa, one of the richest people in the world history, like they say he was the richest, was the king of Central and Northern Africa. I forget his name. Guys, Google richest man in the world history was an African. You could see, paintings of the guy in the Byzantine Empire that did paintings of him and mosaics. I mean, he was the richest guy in history because he ran the global slave trade. But side issue, the point is that you go see a movie like Elysium, and it basically says the white people are the exploitive, they're the racist, they're going to get the free health care, the life extension. If you just flip a switch, you'll all get free health care, and the borders will come down, and we'll all be one big global happy family. It's just you flip one switch, and you can all have something free. That is not how this works, ladies and gentlemen. And the communists in the 20s promised that. Yeah, meet Mansa Musa, the first of Mali, the richest human in all of history. There he is. Let's scroll down to that mosaic of him. There he is. So, looks like Wilt Chamberlain. The point here is, my friends, is that real history will give you the reality of what's happening. You're not going to get it from one history book. You're going to get it from hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. And they're addicting, and you should read them and learn about it. Because then everything will make sense to you. Not all the fake culture that they spew directly at us. And Grapes of Wrath is the 1930s version of Elysium. Because let me tell you something. The communist Chinese kill between 60 and 80+ million people in forced labor camps. The Soviets killed probably more than 40 million, from Lenin on to Stalin and then on through Khrushchev and Brezhnev and all of them. I mean, you want to talk about guys with clubs like Grapes of Wrath making you work and raping your wife and torturing you to death or lining up and shooting you. That's what commies do. And I love how they always point and exaggerate what went on out in California about Okies being persecuted when they're just trying to get across the border into California by people knowing they were about to lose their standard of living. And it's the same thing when you've got 7+ billion people that want to come here. And here's the deal. You could build incredible technological systems and use robotics to where we could all work about 2 days a week, but the globalists are on record admitting they're setting up a system where the robots are going to leverage out even the poorest people in China so that it makes us all dependent and all poor for political assimilation into neo-technocratic feudalism, neo-feudalistic serfdom. And so they make it about white people is why the third world's doing bad. No, the third world's doing bad because it never got out from under total corruption and never even had the few degrees of colonialist liberty that America had. That's the fact. And, can I go to Mexico and have a baby free like they can do here? No. Can I go to Poland and have a baby free like a Polish immigrant can come here and do and get everything free? No, no, no. They would laugh at me, beat me up, and go throw me on an airplane after all my money had been sucked out of me. in a dirt floor jail. So the globalists use all of our heartstrings as Americans, regardless of what color we are, to let's just help the people that want to come in. But they're not going to bring these people in to raise our standards and then raise theirs. The big sick lie of globalism is that it's going to do that. It's designed to implode everything to a post-industrial society with only high-tech industrial reservations under globalist corporate control operating that are exempt from all the taxes and regulations they put on us without the city gates, without the fortress gates. So they're trying to create Elysium by imploding the few middle-class habitats.
It's hurricane and wildfire season again. Why do thousands of people sit in these reoccurring problem areas year after year, betting their lives that the disaster won't get them? Hundreds of you helped eFoods Direct ship 50,000 donated meals to the Oklahoma victims. The problem is we can't help everybody. If every one of us who can will take care of ourselves, we can all pitch in to take care of those who really can't. The new Just In Case pack from eFoods Direct is the big brother to the 7-day emergency pack designed for Oklahoma disaster donations. It contains a 2-month supply for one person, or a 1-month supply for 2 adults, or a 2-week supply for a family of 4. The $320 price is $50 less than retail. Call 800-409-5633 on the web efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Order 2 or more, get 10% off, free shipping applies. Call 800-409-5633 on the web efoodsdirect.com/Alex.
There may be a hidden danger lurking in our homes, and without the right equipment, you'll never know it's there. Maser instruments detect all forms of nuclear radiation, including alpha, beta, gamma, and X-rays, and are always on, just like your smoke alarm. Detecting, measuring, and monitoring nuclear radiation, made in America, laboratory grade, and EMP resistant. If you can't reliably measure nuclear radiation, you're not fully prepared. But now you can be at maserinstruments.com, spelled M-A-Z-U-R instruments.com.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit, then carting to a private bank, having it lent back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Ted Anderson, I'm placing a free silver dollar in a book that explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
There's a huge and hushed up conspiracy going on that's about to turn your lives upside down in the coming few months. Unbelievably, the media are keeping quiet about this. I'm sure they know it, but they probably know that revealing it on TV will generate mass hysteria and chaos. But I believe you should be informed about it, because when the sinister agenda is finally accomplished and everything unravels, only those who know this secret info will survive and thrive. Go to 123conspiracy.com right now to see the truth. The video at 123conspiracy.com reveals the real secret reason why Obama is after your guns and ammo. And it's not just in response to mass murders of preparing for war. It's something much darker. Go watch the video now at 123conspiracy.com before they shut it down. Again, that's 123conspiracy.com.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products, most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
Monday through Friday, 12 noon to 3 p.m. Eastern. We're here, back weeknights, 7 o'clock Central, with Infowars Nightly News. Find out more at InfoWarsNews.com or PrisonPlanet.tv. All right, the point I'm getting at is this. The globalists are mega bankers who control most of the world by creating fiat currency that they control, that governments have to borrow from them. And they get governments that they've paid off to sign these one-sided deals. Any other third world country they can't control, they go start a revolution in, or a military coup, or they overthrow it. That's the State Department Memorandum 200, that the official U.S. government, which is the globalist policy, remember, we're occupied and captured as well, is to deindustrialize the third world, not let them develop, and only allow industrial sectors to operate controlled by the globalists that don't aid the third world, but are used to leverage out competition in the West. So they use selected energy laws, construction laws, manufacturing laws, and shipping laws under so-called free trade deals that are thousands of pages long to shut down all their competition. So it is a total consolidation. See, here's what's frustrating. I've read all the memos. I know the plan. This is not my opinion. It is a nightmare for all the third world. Copenhagen 4 years ago, they had the meeting. They told the third world, we're going to double taxes on the West and pay you carbon money. They got the treaty. It was almost double the taxes on the third world, not the West. It was the West trying to screw the third world. And that's what these movies like Elysium are. And I don't think Matt Damon is sophisticated enough to know it. And that's why I don't like having to attack the film. But the globalists want to overrun the West with hundreds of millions of people that'll work for nothing. They can politically use them to vote as blocks to take liberties away. The guns, to bring in socialist health care that brings government control over care. They can bring in the groups to collectivize and bring in collectivized education. But most importantly, to drive down wages and then compete for real estate to then drive up rent prices. As Max Kaiser will tell you, the globalists are rent seekers. They don't want you to be able to own your own property. That's why the mega rich always push higher property taxes, because they all get exemptions. All the richest people, folks, have tax-free houses they live in. And by the way, if you try to do that, they come and say you're not allowed to, and the IRS arrests you. And you're like, but the law says, my lawyer said, you're not a billionaire. Believe me, folks, I know billionaires. Okay, and I know, take Lake Austin, where Michael Dell's got houses and stuff. He doesn't pay taxes on them. They're tax-exempt, part of foundations he's got. Same thing with Bill and Melinda Gates, folks. I mean, by the way, a two-bedroom house on Lake Austin is like $2 million where I live in Texas. That's the kind of stuff that's going on in Austin. That's all the rich moving here are driving up stuff where a farmhouse is $1 million out in the middle of nowhere. This is the type of... Does that hurt poor people? That's globalism. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what this is, okay? Because they pick the winners and losers. That's what Elysium is. And so the reality is complex. We need to jack up our standard of living, demanding higher quality, demanding lower taxes, demanding a free market that will create such a giant middle class that it will lift people out of poverty to create islands or like political and economic coral reefs to create an ecosystem for more people to be able to come in. But the way borders are being opened, the way globalism is working, the way they bring in third world populations, give them government subsidy of welfare. Dad goes and works hard all day. Mama has a bunch of kids and gets on welfare. That then competes with all the other wage earners in the country and causes a giant sucking sound driving down to the wages. So that's why I get mad at Grapes of Wrath. Oh my gosh, they showed, fictional sheriff's deputies beating people with clubs who tried to strike break. That's wrong, it's terrible, but actually stop that stuff was people shooting them back. But it's 1/1,000,000th, literally, of what the Soviets did, and this was their propaganda, Grapes of Wrath and other films they made like this. It was a whole string of them. To sell communism in America as the solution when it's literally a nightmare system created by the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers on record. The Bolsheviks, worldwide revolutionary communism, was created by the robber barons to go take over countries and then have contracts from without the country globally with the communist dictators. This is all on record. Our government put Mao Zedong in power, the greatest mass murderer in history. So that's why I get so upset by movies like Elysium, where Matt Damon thinks he's really helping poor people. He's helping bring everybody down.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
It's hurricane and wildfire season again. Why do thousands of people sit in these reoccurring problem areas year after year, betting their lives that the disaster won't get them? Hundreds of you helped eFoods Direct ship 50,000 donated meals to the Oklahoma victims. The problem is we can't help everybody. If every one of us who can will take care of ourselves, we can all pitch in to take care of those who really can't. The new Just In Case pack from eFoods Direct is the big brother to the 7-day emergency pack designed for Oklahoma disaster donations. It contains a 2-month supply for one person, or a 1-month supply for 2 adults, or a 2-week supply for a family of 4. The $320 price is $50 less than retail. Call 800-409-5633 on the web efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Order 2 or more, get 10% off, free shipping applies. Call 800-409-5633 on the web efoodsdirect.com/Alex.
Protecting your home with a security system is a must. But when it comes to protecting your family, your home, and belongings, there's no need to sign a long-term contract. Listen, there is some real scum in the alarm business, cashing in by locking you into long, punishing contracts. Not with Simply Safe Home Security. They're the good guys. You can trust Simply Safe to protect your family. Simply Safe was created by a Harvard Business School engineer, and it's revolutionary. You'll get 24-hour protection for just $14.99 a month. There are no hidden fees and no contracts. You'll save thousands. Plus, you're protected by their 100% money-back guarantee. Protect yourself against home invasions and break-ins. Order your Simply Safe system now and receive a wireless keychain remote, a $25 gift, free. So don't waste your time dealing with scum. Visit GetSimplySafe.com. GetSimplySafe.com. GetSimplySafe.com.
Introducing Pro One. All of your filtration in one system, portable, on the go. No more do you have 2 or 3 filters to just reduce sodium fluoride. You have a system that cuts out the sodium fluoride and up to 95% of hydrofluorosilicic acid. Advanced manufacturing technology combines silver-impregnated white ceramic with new Aquamedics advanced media for removal of fluoride and other heavy metals, all in one filter element. It is the only one that does it, and out of the gate, we have it discounted at 10% off with promo code WATER. This is the only system that in one unit helps reduce or remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, ammonia, and chlorine, hydrofluorosilicic acid, the most common form of fluoride not covered by other fluoride filter brands, and sodium hexafluorosilicate. Get your Pro Pure with the new Pro One filters today at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139.
Defending the Republic from enemies, foreign and domestic. It's Alex Jones.
On the turning away from the pale and downtrodden, and the words they say which we won't understand.
The third world populations, exploited by the globalists, on record, are now going to be exploited by the very same technocrats to overrun the first world nations and be used to further bankrupt us to the private banking cartels. And I've racked my brain studying economics, studying geopolitical systems, studying other systems that have existed on ways to try to develop a plan to try to empower humanity. The problem is the globalists have already deployed their cold-blooded operation. It's easy to take over when you're already centralized via ruthless activities over hundreds of years, and you're willing to do anything, and you've already been able to dumb down the population to a great extent. It's a very dark future for humanity. We're facing a dystopian nightmare. But within rediscovering our humanity, I believe we can turn the tide. And if we can just get people to look at the mainstream confirmation that in the polio program worldwide, they're actually giving people polio and then just calling it something else. Oh, the vaccine paralyzes people, but we don't call it polio. And that the Gardasil shots they knew in the trials were killing people and sterilizing them. There's a new study out on that. We're going to talk to an investigative journalist in a moment on that subject. But it really comes down to just facing how hardcore the global technocrats are and how they really are different than the general public. And I guess to a certain extent, folks, I'm kind of like a throwback caveman, you know, good old boy type, but I've had a lot of really intelligent, smart ancestors, and I do have a high IQ, and I've studied history to a certain extent, and I'm pretty much somebody who has figured this stuff out and not made the decision to join the establishment. Because most people figure this stuff out or get told this stuff when they're young, growing up in the establishment. I didn't grow up in the establishment, but on the edge of it, and decide to just be part of it. But I've studied the establishment itself, and they are in their own compartmentalized system and stagnant and drifting towards destruction. Humanity's in deep trouble, folks. And we're not going to do things to the third world and the unborn and the rest of it and not have it come back on us. And people say, what, are you saying you're part of it? Yeah, I'm part of this. So are you. So we're going to talk about that in one moment and get into Gardasil and really important public service. You know, they call it public service announcement. Does your neighbor have guns? Call the police on them. As if guns are illegal. Well, what about a public service announcement of these vaccines that are guns? You know, firing deadly attenuated viruses into people. First off, I want to tell you about InfidelBodyArmor.com. Stops hundreds of rounds of AK-47, M4, 30-06, 308, and more. Ceramic armor stops only 6 rounds. What about the 7th? Fits medium to XXL. They've got a great online catalog. You can also call them and get a free catalog. They got backpacks, a lot of other accessories. Really is amazing stuff. Rated level 3 armor. The longest lasting body armor is now cheaper than most ammo. That's the best part, is it's so affordable. I've talked to a lot of experts in this type of stuff. They say Infidel Body Armor is amazing. InfidelBodyArmor.com. eFoods Direct is the name in storable foods, and they're running another incredible special, ladies and gentlemen, that everybody should take advantage of. You can find those specials right now at Infowars.com by linking through on the banners, or going to efoodsdirect.com/Alex. But they've got a bunch of different specials over at eFoods Direct, efoodsdirect.com/Alex, or 800-409-5633, 800-409-5633, or efoodsdirect.com/Alex. And they really are the best storable foods company out there that we found, period. efoodsdirect.com/Alex. And finally, privateinternetaccess.com. We hear news stories every day about the NSA spying on people. Privateinternetaccess.com provides cyber security that you control. Encrypts internet connection, hides your IP addresses, providing anonymous browsing, provides firewall protection, which prevents data mining, provides uncensored access to the complete internet, maintains no records whatsoever of computer activity, can connect up to 5 devices simultaneously in one account, can be used, can use service anywhere with internet connection based in the USA, privateinternetaccess.com. And it's those great sponsors that make our transmission possible. By the way, speaking of that, I've got Steve Watson working on an article where they're blocking Infowars.com more and more, calling it racist. One of our listeners was at a transportation kiosk, you know, where you pay $1, you can use the internet. And they went to Infowars.com, and I've seen this myself. We've confirmed this report. And you go to the site, and it just pops up and says, racist. It just goes, racist. Just like something out of us. We're talking about unity and human freedom and empowerment and not letting the elite divide and conquer us, and, you know, videos of where I'm bullhorning and protesting the Klan. But they don't care. They just put thousands and thousands of blogs and sites in a database. I know somebody had to pay a bunch of money to a McAfee a few months ago to take them off a list of saying they were a dangerous site, and it wasn't even true. You see these stories every month about Drudge has viruses on his site. It's links to other people's news articles, and it comes out later there are no viruses. It's a lie. They do that to us more and more. But this is the type of crap that's going on, excuse my French, so that you can't discover what's happening. Now, why are they censoring us? Because they don't want us to read mainline studies and show you local news stories as well where people die taking the Gardasil vaccine that 8 years ago killed people in trials. And 7 years ago. And then Rick Perry came out and said it's the law to take it in Texas and ran a hoax, an authoritarian hoax. There was no law. He told the health department, list it as recommended, which they then lie and say is mandatory. There is no law. They are trying to move to make it mandatory, by the way. India tried that. They've said said don't do it anymore. Japan is moving to ban it. And Heidi Stevenson is a very interesting researcher. And I'll let her get into her bio, Gaia-health.com, but she's been doing the stories and has been quoted in Jonathan Benson's naturalnews.com story. Young women's ovaries destroyed by Gardasil. Merck forgot to research effects of vaccine on female reproduction. So, again, I've been talking about this from naturalnews.com and Infowars.com, posting it since last week. It is so important that you get this out to people, but all the other reports of the deaths, other governments banning it, to understand that this is so evil. And now in Mexico, they're trying to make it mandatory, actually the law, for all girls under 13. It is definitely an anti-fertility deal. Now, you're not going to see Matt Damon out with a movie saying, don't take the Gardasil, my little chiquitas, like they call the little Hispanic girl who's so cute and sweet and innocent in movies like Elysium. No. They're going to say, you take this shot and you get sterilized now, or you have an autoimmune disorder, or you die, or you develop epilepsy or narcolepsy. I know women, personally, that took that vaccine and have narcolepsy and can't drive themselves to work now. I know women that have taken it now that have permanent Guillain-Barré and can't feel their hands and feet. This is all on record. But, they say it's for the women. So I want to go to her to talk about this. Heidi Stevenson, thank you for joining us. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your awakening, the articles you write, and then this new study that's out dealing with published in the peer-reviewed British Medical Journal of what this stuff's doing to people, because we need to get this out to people, obviously, before more victims take this shot.
Well, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it an awful lot. I don't think I'm all that interesting, and so I don't know if we need to spend time going into my history here. But basically, I've been writing about vaccines in general and a lot of other related issues because this whole medical system is crazy. It's insane. And vaccines are like the symbol of what's going on, because we're just not getting the truth. How could a Vioxx happen? It did. So we now have Gardasil. And Gardasil it's an extremely dangerous vaccine. It has well-known, well-documented adverse effects. There's simply no way of getting around it. And this particular case of one girl whose ovaries, basically they killed her ovaries. She's not the only one. There are others, and I've written about that recently. It's not common, but then again, do you want to take the risk? Because that's your future, that's your womanhood. It's just down the tubes, just like that. So anyway, this particular article is called Gardasil Destroys Girls' Ovaries. It should have been predicted. And basically all I do is tell about what the researchers actually found and go on and discuss it in, more human terms. And I talk about some of the things that they found, and also I discuss separately a little more about potentially risky ingredients, including two in particular that are in this vaccine and that are risky, that are known to have potential risks. Polysorbate 80 is known to cause damage to female rats' reproductive systems. It's a fact. It's been studied. There's no way around it. And yet, it's in this vaccine. So, nobody cared, apparently. The fact is that nobody studied the effects of this vaccine on ovaries. They studied it on male rats' testes, but they didn't bother to study it on ovaries. And they were pushing this on girls without ever even checking it out. It's insane. I don't understand. So, I'm not sure where you want me to go from here on this.
Well, no, it's just that, you're quoted in the article. We've got this new study out, British Medical Journal, but there's so many other studies in the 8 years of, it's almost 9 years since the studies first started all over the world. And I differ with you on this because I can tell you're a smart, intelligent, advocate for people's health, and you're out there warning people. But folks come out and say, well, they must not have known what they're doing, or they didn't properly study it. They studied it in the trials. It killed people. It sterilized people. It gave people autoimmune disorders. And they said, let's test seeing if we can dump something like this on the market and see if we can PR-wise handle this soft kill weapon. And it's precisely because it does this. They know if they add that polysorbate 40 and other things to it, along with the virus, the body will develop an autoimmune response to that and actually accelerate it and then actually attack any organs that it basically goes into, just like the UN got caught with over 50 different manufacturers over 20 years adding female hormones that are in second trimester estrus to then cause autoimmune disorders and miscarriages at the second trimester 3.5 month mark. And it turned out that was a UN program. So they know full well what they're doing from my educated analysis. I mean, they certainly know it's doing it now and are pushing it harder than ever.
Well, you might be interested in knowing that there is a coming push on the HPV vaccines, Gardasil and Cervarix, to not just give them to teenage girls or boys, but to move the age range down and to give it to babies. And they're using as the example of why they should do this, the Hep B vaccine, which is in the U.S., nearly every baby born in a hospital is given this vaccine within the first 24 hours of birth. And that's hailed as this great success, even though the Hep B vaccine doesn't protect an infant from anything that infant could possibly have.
Yeah, unless the infant is an intravenous drug user or having unprotected sex, which is incredible. And again, if they can give over 100 million Americans SV40 cancer viruses knowingly and get away with it in the polio vaccine on record, if they can give kids for now 20 years deadly, or 15 years or so, deadly at birth, on record, dangerous hepatitis shots, and then hepatitis levels only go up because duh. And if they can give them live polio and cover that up, and if they can do this, of course they are. And clearly, this is a criminal eugenics operation. It just came out, and I said estrus, I meant gestation. A second trimester, going into the second trimester of gestation, that's when these other hormones they've added, according to the medical doctors I've had on, kick in and cause the woman to have a miscarriage. I mean, this is so diabolical. I think people have trouble dealing with it, Heidi. So yeah, let's get into babies now. It's not enough to hurt these women with these shots and little boys now. Let's go after babies with the papilloma vaccine that, as you know, doesn't even cover most of the papillomaviruses.
That's correct. That's exactly correct. And yet, this is actually in a journal. The plan to do this, or the study that supposedly documents why we should do this, why we should start giving this vaccine to babies. And the interesting thing is, even though this vaccine is known to have an extremely high rate of adverse effects, including death, and adverse effects that destroy lives utterly, like narcolepsy and others, and they did not even once in the entire paper even reference safety concerns. Not one mention of adverse effects. nothing. It's as if there's no potential harm. That is actually the way they've approached this. It's not an issue. So it seems to me that if you want to hide the effects of a vaccine, give it to a baby, a brand new baby, because they can't tell you what's going on. You give it to a baby at birth, and how do you know that baby was healthy to begin with? You don't. You can't prove it. All you know is you've been handed this very, very sick baby. And what does it? Well, who knows? Maybe it was the vaccine, but no, vaccines don't do things like that. At least that's the attitude. And people end up sick. So we now have a world full of sick children. And that's literally the truth. The average child now is ill. And
well, that's why I wanted to get you on, is because you point that out in the articles you put out on your excellent news site. And that's what's frustrating, is they want to make us ill to make us part of the medical system. It's another form of slavery, and they've even written white papers on it, and people just can't come to grips with how diabolical this is.
It is. It's stunning. It's hard to comprehend. I mean, I actually came into this from an iatrogenic injury. That means doctor-induced. And I'm supposed to be dead, but I finally woke up a bit, and I decided, well, they've told me I'm going to die, that there's no way to treat this. So I went to an alternative practitioner.
Heidi Stevenson, stay there. I want to talk about this on the other side. Folks, there's no doubt this is a eugenics reclamation program. Just like they now admit in California, they're still sterilizing women. It's a huge secret program.
Introducing the only portable solar generator in the world that uses advanced sun tracking technology, the Sun Socket Solar Generator from Aspect Solar, featuring 60-watt rotating solar panels, a built-in 250-watt-hour lightweight lithium-ion battery that charges in only 5 hours, multiple output sockets, and more. See it in action at aspectsolar.com or call 877-717-7778. Call 877-717-7778.
Thank you, listeners. You spoke and we listened. At chef5mm.com, we've made our checkout process more secure and user-friendly than ever before. Chef 5-minute meals, unlike anything you've ever seen. Self-heat in just 5 minutes. You don't need anything except what comes in the box. Visit chef5mm.com to see this innovation for yourself. That's chef5mm.com or call 888-959-6502. 888-959-6502.
With over 3,000 years of historic use, pure silver continues to be one of nature's most reliable and effective agents against fighting viruses, mold, fungus, bacteria, pathogens, and parasites. At Silver Lungs, we have developed a reliable and easy-to-use full production system for creating endless pure nano-silver solutions right from the convenience and comfort of your home. Your self-produced nano-silver solutions can be applied topically to the skin. For many who are new to silver that wish to try silver for the first time, we offer a full line of consumables and cosmetics, such as our 2-ounce nano-silver nasal sprays, our nano-silver soap, and our most popular product, the all-natural nano-silver gel. Visit www.silverlungs.com to learn more about the industry-leading technology of the Silver Lungs system. That's www.silverlungs.com.
Great news, pure water lovers. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has a special discount offer for all GCN listeners. You can't do better than a Big Berkey for economy. For only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. There's none better than a Big Berkey for emergency preparedness as a backup water source. And you just can't beat a Big Berkey to remove dangerous chlorine, all types of fluoride, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, parasites, and unhealthy byproducts from municipal water. Berkey water filter systems are even powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. For the gold standard in water filters, get a Big Berkey at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And all GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. For details, call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
know, I wish that the Mexican supremacist Robert Rodriguez here in Austin, Texas, where I live, because I know a lot of people that know him behind the scenes. I mean, he's basically like a Hispanic version of the Ku Klux Klan. I wish he would come out and make a movie about how the UN has got a program in Mexico to make all the little girls in Mexico take Gardasil shots that on record are going to screw them up and reduce their fertility and sterilize them. Oh, but he's not going to do that. He's just going to make movies about how white people are all racist and have to be dealt with. And so is Matt Damon. Because that's what the establishment wants. They want us all fighting with each other while the globalists are basically killing us. It's unbelievable, the reality of this. Heidi Stevenson, you were damaged by your doctor. That's the #1 cause of death now in this country. Unnatural death was over 300,000 a year. Doctors killing people one way or another. And the system just is pushing this. Expand and tell folks your story of what happened to you. And, you know, babies, as my crew was pointing out, as Nico was pointing out, you don't know if they were okay when they were born, so you can mess them up and claim it was a problem throughout life. They can't tell you when they're sick. They can't tell you when it's hurting. They're the perfect victim to pump full of Gardasil and hepatitis and all these other shots.
Absolutely. I'd like to take one step back. You said that the medical system is the #1 cause of death. Agreed completely. And you said that it's about 300,000. Well, I agree with that, except that that's only the tip of the iceberg. That's only what's recognized and acknowledged. But what isn't recognized, what's not accepted as medically induced death, are the people who end up with cancer because of antibiotics, which do lead to cancer in many cases because they mess up the gut bacteria. And all kinds of adverse effects that end up causing horrific damage, like all these kids with diabetes who are going to die ultimately of diabetes, because that is a deadly disease, but they won't be counted as iatrogenic deaths. So that the number of people who die that way is massively understated by 300,000.
That's right. There are so many studies that the vaccines are causing some type of autoimmune response in the pancreas and burning it out. I mean, they're just killing everybody.
Well, I can't argue with that at all. I wouldn't even begin to try to argue with it. Yeah, it's the autoimmune disorders, and that's mostly what we're seeing in these girls who don't die immediately. We're seeing autoimmune disorders and vaccines. That's my big thing about vaccines, because they cause autoimmune disorders, and autoimmune disorders are a horror.
Lupus, all of it is off the chart. And here's the deal, Heidi.
Absolutely.
You've got all the studies up on your site. We've got them. This is not debatable. They knew Gardasil was killing a bunch of people in the trials. Other governments are banning it, but not America, not Mexico, because we're under the control of Goldman Sachs and other groups that have the actuaries set up. They want us out of the way, and in the process of our dying, they want to suck all the money out of us.
I'm not going to argue with you about it.
It's unbelievable.
That's what I argue with you about that. No, I mean, I'm not going to go into the political end of it right now, because that's not what what I know as much about. I just know what's happening here, and there's just no way of looking at it with open eyes and not realize that something's going on. Absolutely, something is going on.
Yeah, well, they're going to put shots in me or my family over my dead body. But the problem is they're coming out with it in the food, in the water, vaccines, in pharmacological crops, where you can't escape it. Back in 60 seconds, I want to come back to you and, Heidi, have you tell your story. We didn't get to that yet. And the website is Gaia-health.com. I just wanted to get you on because you're out there, collating all these studies, helping warn people. God bless you.
You are listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Cal-Ben Soap Company can save you thousands of dollars and give you good old-fashioned real soap that is triple concentrated and made from the highest quality vegetable and coconut oils. See them on the web www.5starsoap.com or call 1-800-340-7091 for a free catalog and buy American-made products. Order the sampler, a 1 to 2 month supply, or get a 1 to 2 year supply of soaps for all your cleaning needs. You're getting soap products twice as good as what you're using now. This is an amazing deal, and you will love the way real soap makes your skin feel. Call 1-800-340-7091 or visit www.5starsoap.com. Alex and his staff have used these earth-friendly, pure soaps for years. See them on the web, www.5starsoap.com, or call 1-800-340-7091 for a catalog.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back live. We're going to cover a bunch of breaking news, start of the next segment, and then open the phones up to take your phone calls. I'm going to give the number out at the start of the next segment. We're talking to Heidi Stevenson. She's a journalist and researcher, and I saw her quoted an article on Natural News by Jonathan Benson that has the British medical journal info, young woman's ovaries destroyed by Gardasil. But I wanted her to finish up her story of doctor-induced or system-induced illness and other points she thinks are important to add for people out there. And, of course, her website for folks that want to visit it is Gaia-health.com. So go ahead, Heidi Stevenson. Make any other points that you think are important.
Okay, well, basically, I had an iatrogenic disease. It was killing me. I was really literally close to death. And I ended up going to a homeopath. And I actually didn't even believe in homeopathy. I thought it was pure nonsense. And that's actually even the first thing I said to the homeopath, who said, well, I don't care. And that was over 10 years ago. And I'm here. And I've taken what I've learned and gotten into it. And found that what happened to me is not rare. It's common. It's actually very, very common. And it's easy to do, because the medical system, the doctors, they all circle the wagons, and they won't, none of them speak out. If one does, well, you know, they ruin their careers. And apparently careers are more important than people's lives. At least that seems to be the impression that we get when we're on the opposite side of that system. And in the process of my learning, I found out more and more and more and discovered that vaccines, these wonderful miracle things that I always believed in, because, well, doesn't everybody, discovered the truth. And that everything we've been told about them has been a lie. That they're not harmless, that they're extremely dangerous, that they kill people, that they destroy lives, and they don't even do what they claim they're going to do. They don't last.
That's what's
forever.
amazing. Almost all of the inserts say doesn't even protect you from hepatitis, doesn't protect you from papilloma, doesn't, and you're like, but they're saying it does on the news. It's so incredible.
Absolutely true. I mean, there is some truth to it. There's some limited truth, but it's limited. And
that's right. There's some limit. There's evidence that the 500-year-old technology of immunization does have some validity. The problem is these companies are so corrupt and have such a hidden agenda and such a horrible history that you can't trust them.
Amen. Amen to that. I have to agree 100%. And the fact is, you have to consider and be honest about the harm. And you have to be honest about what they have accomplished and what they haven't. And the fact of the matter is that the claims that vaccines have made us safe from smallpox, safe from polio, and all of these other so-called horrible childhood illnesses, most of which I remember. I had them. And frankly, they're not fun, but guess what? Autism is a whole lot worse. And give me a choice, I think I'll take chicken pox. You know, I might get a scar out of it, but I think I could live with it.
Hey, my children have all had it. I mean, you know, by the grace of God, because of good nutrition, everything, they just got some little red bumps on them, and it was gone in 2 days. In fact, you know, you hear about the groups where the neighbor kid has it, so you bring the kids over to get it from them so that it's all over with and you control the situation.
Oh, absolutely. My mother was very, very upset because she tried to have me get the mumps, and unfortunately, I just plain didn't get it.
Absolutely.
So
you don't want to get it when
those parties really happened. People really did do it because it was the safest thing. Everybody knew that.
Well, Mom always knew best until the government became our mommy. Heidi Stevenson, thank you so much. We'll talk to you again soon. Great job.
Thank you.
We'll be back with a ton of news. Stay with us.
Every 3 seconds, someone becomes a victim of identity theft. We also hear news stories every day about the NSA spying on U.S. citizens. It is now more important than ever to protect yourself and your information on the web. PrivateInternetAccess.com is a virtual private network service that can encrypt your internet connection while hiding your IP address. Their service also provides firewall protection in order to prevent data mining and unwanted exposure. They keep no records of your web browsing history. PrivateInternetAccess.com is an American company that understands you need to protect your inalienable rights. Private Internet Access does not even log any of your traffic, period. Privacy is their #1 policy. You can use their service anywhere with an internet connection, and with one account, you can protect up to 5 devices at the same time. Go to PrivateInternetAccess.com right now in order to secure the privacy of you and your loved ones. Don't wait and allow you and your family to become victims. Visit PrivateInternetAccess.com today.
Dozens of diseases ranging from the common cold and flu to MRSA and pneumonia are all caused by infectious pathogens. Fortunately, a simple, safe, and effective alternative exists. Supernatural Silver is a new and vastly improved type of silver solution that is safe and extremely effective against 143 types of bacteria, both forms of viruses, mold and yeast, and a limited number of parasites. It can even purify water. Supernatural Silver comes in both liquid and gel for internal or external use. With over 180 scientific studies by independent universities, hospitals, research institutions, and nursing homes, Supernatural Silver is a powerful weapon in the fight against disease. To see how Supernatural Silver can give you and your loved ones protection and peace of mind, go to supernaturalsilver.com. Use the promo code PROTECTED for 20% off and like us on Facebook.
Are we choosing our own destiny, or has it been pre-selected for us?
As we've moved through history, every great leader has had to understand the potential of information.
Billions of dollars have been spent privately and publicly looking at how to tap into your psyche.
From compulsory state education to the Hollywood media brainwashing machine, we are kept in perpetual bondage to the ideas that shape our actions.
When somebody obscures that feedback loop between you observing and testing it out and verifying it, they can take total control of your awareness.
All of this is happening so fast, you need to be ahead of the game.
How to engineer the opinion of the American people so that they would not only endorse but demand a war.
Oh, there's another one. Another plane just hit.
State of Mind, because there's a war on for your mind. Get your copy of State of Mind, the movie, at Infowars.com. And remember, every order at InfoWarsStore.com receives a free citizen rulebook.
Defending the Republic from enemies, foreign and domestic. It's Alex Jones.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go through a ton of really important news and some audio and video clips, and then we're going to be taking your phone calls on any subject or news item you wish to raise. I am your host, Alex Jones. Thank you for joining us on this 12th day of August 2013, on this Monday as we kick off broadcast week officially. 800-259-9231. 800-259-9231 is the number to join us. 800-259-9231. Whitey Bulger has been found guilty just minutes ago of racketeering and conspiracy. But the truth is the guy was left alone forever because he was doing hits for the FBI and running organized crime for them. And that's come out in the trial with the informants. Over 5,000 hardcore crimes committed. And show it. It shows SWAT teams and like guys in commando outfits walking him around. That's the new dress up. Like when have you arrived when you're wearing a SWAT team commando outfit here in our third world country? I mean, it's just ridiculous. By the way, the government loading him in the vehicle right now, he was their guy on record for decades. On the East Coast. Amazing. I mean, it's just sycophantic, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a radio listener, I had Fox News up showing the helicopter shot of him being put in the vehicle. And where's his body armor? You've got the cops dressed up like they're Darth Vader. And I guess they should be dressed up like Darth Vader. They're running worldwide narcotics operations, murder for hire, and child kidnapping. You know, the average cop down the beat isn't doing that. But, I mean, I'm just so sick of the naivete of the population. Every time I see all the special units and all the stuff, I just go, there's the guys. And everybody just sycophantically drools all over it. It makes me want to throw up at how naive the population is. I guess you're not naive. Most people are just desperate and don't know what they're going to do. As our economy converts over to a pure mafia, insider, crony, picking the winners and losers. Let me hit this article out of News 2 Houston. Woman opens fire on group of robbers at Denny's. Police say the group of suspects fled the scene with stolen jewelry. And then it goes on to show how a man who does not want to be identified said his brother was robbed by 6 men with guns at the Denny's restaurant off the Gulf Freeway in southeast Houston. I don't know if it was random or someone set him up because he got his own label, said the victim's brother, whatever that means. His brother's wife was in the restroom at the time, but when she got out, she saw the group of robbers. Police said that when she pulled out her handgun, or her gun, and shot at them, she said she came out of the restroom and saw my brother on the floor. That's when she started doing what she got to do. Absolutely. She got a license, and she'll do anything to protect her kids and her brother. Love it. And they're not even sure if she shot any of them because they ran off, but let me tell you, I come out of a restroom and I'm packing and I see that, you're going to get hit. So easy. I like shooting fish in a barrel. And I don't want to kill people, but it's like a healthy thing. It's like catching a rattlesnake under your kid's playscape in the backyard. I've actually done that. Don't tell my wife. She only knows about water moccasins, copperheads, and a coral snake. Which I felt bad killing that coral snake. My dad didn't believe they could get over 3 feet because the Wikipedia said only 3 feet. And this thing was over 3 feet long, and it was, again, in the backyard. And even though it's a nice snake in the cobra family, they're not really aggressive like a rattlesnake or a water moccasin. Water moccasins are really aggressive compared to even a rattler. I had to kill it. And he came over, and even though it was bled out and shrunk a little bit, we put it together, and it was 3.5 feet. That'll be a record coral snake I hacked up with a hoe. I didn't want to upset my wife and do it with a shotgun. But point is, I've already digressed off, ladies and gentlemen. You got to do what you got to do. Let's give some facts. Great article by Michael Snyder at American Dream Blog. It's up on Infowars.com. I think everybody should get this out to everybody they know. It's also up on prisonplanet.com. 18 little-known gun facts that prove that guns make us safer. And then he goes over a breakdown of it, links to the Harvard crime studies, all the rest of it. I love these articles he writes like we do, where it just gives absolute backing up of everything we say. Over the past 20 years, gun sales have absolutely exploded, but homicides with firearms are down 39% during that time, and other crimes with firearms are down 69%. That's right. A study published in the Harvard Journal of Law and Public Policy discovered that nations that have more guns tend to have less crime. Number 3, the 9 European nations with the lowest rate of gun ownership rate have the combined murder rate that is 3 times greater than that of 9 European nations with the highest rate of gun ownership. Yeah, and it's cultural that, like, Japan doesn't have guns but doesn't have hardly any crime because the average Japanese person, you know, won't steal from you. In fact, they've done studies. They're the only group that if their kids are starving, they will not rob you, on average. They will sit there and starve to death before they rob you. That's why they had Fukushima and all that stuff and millions evacuating and almost no crime. All the crimes committed by the government, by the way. Almost every mass shooting that has occurred in the United States since 1950 has taken place in a state with strict gun control laws. We link to those statistics. With just one exception, every public mass shooting in the USA since the 1950s has taken place where citizens are banned from carrying guns. Despite strict gun regulations, Europe has had 3 of the 6 worst school shootings. Number 5, the United States is number 1 in the world in gun ownership, yet is only 28th in the world in gun murders per 100,000 people. That's Department of Justice own numbers. Number 6, the violent crime rate in the United States actually fell 757.7 per 100,000 in 92 to 386,000 per 100,000 in 2011, except in the black community, because they took all their guns. The only areas with total gun bans are black cities, because that's racist. The liberals are there to euthanize you, suck money out of you, and kill you. You're not going to have guns while they kill your ass. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm just out of control, folks, being myself here. I'm going to stop. I apologize. God, exorcise the demons. Continuing here, the violent crime rate in the United States actually fell, and it goes on. Approximately 200,000 women in the United States use guns to protect themselves against sexual crime every year. Number 8, overall guns in the United States are used 80 times more often to prevent crime than they are to take lives. Number 9, the number of unintentional fatalities due to firearms declined 58% between 1991 and 2011. Number 10, despite the very strict ban on guns, in the UK, the overall rate of violent crime in the UK is about 4 times higher than it was in the United States. In one recent year, there were 2,034 violent crimes per 100,000 people in the UK. The United States, there were 466 violent crimes per 100,000 people in that same year. Do we really want to be more like the UK? Yeah, they have less gun crime there, but they have more overall crime. What is that, like 8, 9 times? Let's continue here. No, that'd be 5 times. The UK was approximately 125% more rape victims per 100,000 people each year than the United States does. The UK has approximately 133% more assault victims per 100,000 people every year than the United States does. The UK has the 4th largest burglary rate in the EU. The UK has the 2nd highest overall crime rate in the EU. Number 15, down under in Australia, gun murders increased 19% and armed robberies increased 69% after the gun ban was instituted. I'm not going to read the rest of these. They go on and on. They're up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. I want to send this out on Twitter. I know it's Twitter. I just like to talk like Rick Perry. Everybody's got real bad allergies right now. They're not making me feel bad because literally all the longevity stuff I take has made it where I don't get the really bad headaches anymore. But it has coated my larynx. That's why I don't really have a voice today. It's messing me up, too, because I can't really cut my voiceovers for Obama deception, too. But I'm going to tweet this out during the break at Real Alex Jones. So please, whatever you do, folks, retweet this because the fight for the Second Amendment continues. Let's go to your phone calls right now, and then after break, then I'll get into all the rest of the news. Let's talk to Sarah in Kentucky. Sarah, you're on the air worldwide. Hi.
Hi. I just wanted to say that I really appreciate everything you guys do and everything you do personally. But I wanted to call and kind of speak to the previous guest that you just had. A young girl in my hometown died about 2 or 3 years ago. She was only 16 at the time. And her mother to this day says it's because she got the Gardasil vaccine.
And think about the devastating victory they've had. Even small towns have had multiple deaths, and even local doctors have been on the news, never makes national news, saying, you know, she took it, a week later, blood coming out of every orifice, and then organs failed. And that's what it does. And the victory they've had, they can do this and get away with it. I mean, what else will we put up with? Well, now it's going to be babies. They'll give the baby the shot. They'll have an autoimmune thing. They'll be brain damaged. They'll die, and they'll get away with it. Tell us about the story of what happened with the Gardasil.
Well, the girl got the round of vaccines when she was about 14, and then all of a sudden started having all these gynecological problems.
Oh, yeah.
And they ran test after test until they found out, that she had a pretty advanced case of ovarian cancer. And, that's rare in any teenager. And the mother,
not going to be rare now. No. Tell you what, stay there. I'm going to come back to you. And if you can get her name and stuff, I want to look it up and show people to personalize this. Folks, every gas station I walk in, everywhere, people are like, raise money, my son's dying of cancer. And it's just, and the numbers, 10,000+% increase on average in pediatric cancers. And it's going to be 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 until everybody dies. And we all thank the government for murdering us. Homeland Security cares about you.
Hello, this is Ty Bollinger, author of the best-selling book, Cancer, Step Outside the Box. I want you to know some very important information. In 1985, President Ronald Reagan requested that Carnivora be sent directly to the White House at a time when only the president could obtain this world-class healer. Now, 27 years later, Carnivora capsules are used around the world to keep people healthy. Now you can protect yourself and your loved ones in this age of superbugs with 17 naturally occurring compounds that instinctively respond to abnormal cells only without harming a single normal cell. If you want to stay healthy, now's your chance to literally wake up your critical immune cells to attack harmful invaders that don't belong in your body. Call 1-866-VENUS-FLY or order from carnivora.com. That's carnivora.com. That's 1-866-836-8735, 1-866-VENUS-FLY, or visit carnivora.com. Protect your immune system. It's the only one you've got.
Hello, I'm Alex Jones. Myself, my family, the Infowars.com team want to relay to you and your families that we are intensifying our efforts against the globalists on every front. Infowars.com is leading the fight against the technocrats. But we can't do that without your help. By getting the films, bumper stickers, and t-shirts at Infowars.com, you will wake up people in your area and support our operation as we move to the next level. We need your help to spread the word like never before. They wish to hide themselves during this tectonic battle between the forces of freedom and darkness. You are the response to the globalist technocrats and their program of global eugenics, dehumanization, and ultimate extermination. The war is here. It's an info war. The spirit of 1776 versus the mindset of 1984.
Thank you, listeners. You spoke and we listened. At chef5mm.com, we've made our checkout process more secure and user-friendly than ever before. Chef 5-minute meals, unlike anything you've ever seen. Self-heat in just 5 minutes. You don't need anything except what comes in the box. Visit chef5mm.com to see this innovation for yourself. That's chef5mm.com or call 888-959-6502. 888-959-6502.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
After 22 years of nutritional counseling, I've witnessed that a lot of illness can be linked to toxins and deficiencies combined. Improving your liver function and restoring your cells' ability to detoxify is essential to achieving radiant health. Listen to the real-world results of Doug and his wife after taking One World Way.
My name is Doug Didero. For years I had an ongoing rash with itching around my eyes. This was due to metal dust particles landing on my face in the workplace. After being on One World Way for 2 weeks, I began to have a severe rash and itching sensation around my eyes. This rash and itching lasted for 5 weeks and is now 100% gone. Additionally, without extra exercise, I've also increased my muscle size, and my wife has lost weight and gained a more attractive figure.
Call 888-988-3325. That's 888-988-3325. 888-988-3325. Or visit oneworldway.com. That's oneworldwhey.com.
Day after day, alone on a hill, the man with the foolish grin is keeping...
Yeah, I want to explain something to people about Gardasil, and I've had medical doctors on for 8 years. I cover it every few months. It killed a bunch of people on the trials. They got cancer very quickly, or they died in a day with blood coming out of every orifice, or they would get like lupus-like diseases, or they would be paralyzed. And there's been, no exaggeration, I've probably seen 20 different newscasts of, it's always a cheerleader who gets the shot and then is dead 2 weeks later on a ventilator. And a lot of times the medical doctors go, no, she got the second round or the third round of the shot. It's usually the second or third, and then it kills them. But for most women, that's when it just over-affects, in my research view, kind of an over-roasting of your ovaries and other sexual organs like your uterus. It's just meant to reduce fertility. And all these globalist programs, they've been caught doing it before with hepatitis vaccines. They've been caught doing it for women in tetanus shots, UN programs only for women, and then they add a hormone to it. I want to go to other callers, but finishing up with Sarah. Sarah, so you heard about this locally in your town. All I'm saying is if you see young women or you see people with young girls, and now they're trying to do it to boys, they're trying to make it mandatory, you got to go up and warn them, hey, by the way, Gardasil's killing people. Read the insert. Because most people go, my doctor said. We should all be picketing outside doctors' offices if we find out they give Gardasil shots. I mean, they're murdering everybody. And, of course, the average doctor doesn't know they're compartmentalized, because if you admit this is going on, then that's how the Nazis did it, is once you go, oh, they're okay, and then even though bad things start happening, you've got to go along with it because you don't want to admit you're part of something evil. And this is a life or death situation. I mean, they're trying to pass laws worldwide, and they're doing it in some cases, to actually make it mandatory. And then when you don't, they will send the police. And if you barricade yourself in that house, an armored vehicle pulls up with trained killers. And there's been cases where they take the kid, give them the shot, and they have convulsions. A lot of times mothers, their kid already gets sick from shots, says no, no, no. I've seen the cases in Detroit, you name it. They SWAT team and put the mother in prison. They might as well line your family up and shoot them right there. But see, they're smart. People fought when the Nazis lined you up and shot you. If they give you a soft kill, we're here to help you. The doctor doesn't even know. Whatever, the person's having convulsions, that's not me. The SWAT team doesn't know. It's just some mother won't give her kids up. And it's all compartmentalized. You're living, folks, in a sci-fi Nazi Germany. I'm sorry, Sarah, for ranting. Go ahead and finish up with what happened after she took the Gardasil shot.
Well, like I said, she ended up being diagnosed with an advanced stage of ovarian cancer and died. And I know that people hear you say this about vaccines and think you're exaggerating, but I was a public health nurse until last December, and if you're supposed to push these vaccines on anybody, and we were giving boys the Gardasil shot, or some nurses were. I didn't. And a lot of times I would refuse to give it when I knew that the parents hadn't read anything about it.
Oh, wow, you're a nurse on top of it. I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah.
How many of the nurses know this that you talk to?
I talk to any nurse and anybody in healthcare that I can reach about it. You know, I quit my job there. I stay at home with my kids now. But basically, I knew that it was only a matter of time before I ended up in trouble at work for actually giving informed consent. We would get in trouble for giving informed consent. We were supposed to just hand them a sheet of paper from the CDC, trust that they were going to read it and understand what they were getting or what their child was getting, and just give the vaccination. And I wouldn't do it. You know, I said, I would encourage people, if you really want it, make another appointment and come back, but read about it first. I don't know how much trouble I got into for doing those little things right there. And I would just tell my supervisor, look, I swore an oath to the patient, not to you or not to Merck or the pharmaceutical companies. It was to the patient. And I really feel like if a parent has never heard of this before, I shouldn't push it on them that day.
And by the way, that's the bare minimum morally you could do. Instead, the nurses all need to band together and start handing out literature and news articles. I mean, I would go to the head of the hospital and say, here are 50 news articles about Gardasil killing people and foreign governments banning it. And then there'll be an uproar, and then it'll get reversed like India and Japan, where they've outlawed it. But see, we just won't do it. It's like, oh, you're wearing a blue uniform? I'll do what you say, no matter if it's illegal. Oh, you're wearing a white uniform? I'll kill my kid. I mean, it's unbelievable. God bless you, ma'am. How many more have to die, folks? They're injecting you with live cancer viruses.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Introducing Pro One. All of your filtration in one system, portable, on the go. No more do you have 2 or 3 filters to just reduce sodium fluoride. You have a system that cuts out the sodium fluoride and up to 95% of hydrofluorosilicic acid. Advanced manufacturing technology combines silver-impregnated white ceramic with new Aquamedics advanced media for removal of fluoride and other heavy metals, all in one filter element. It is the only one that does it, and out of the gates, we have it discounted at 10% off with promo code WATER. This is the only system that in one unit helps reduce or remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, ammonia, and chlorine, hydrofluorosilicic acid, the most common form of fluoride not covered by other fluoride filter brands, and sodium hexafluorosilicate. Get your Pro Pure with the new Pro One filter today at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139.
Cal-Ben Soap Company can save you thousands of dollars and give you good old-fashioned real soap that is triple concentrated and made from the highest quality vegetable and coconut oils. See them on the web, www.5starsoap.com, or call 1-800-340-7091 for a free catalog and buy American-made products. Order the sampler, a 1 to 2 month supply, or get a 1 to 2 year supply of soaps for all your cleaning needs. You're getting soap products twice as good as what you're using now. This is an amazing deal, and you will love the way real soap makes your skin feel. Call 1-800-340-7091 or visit www.5starsoap.com. Alex and his staff have used these earth-friendly, pure soaps for years. See them on the web, www.5starsoap.com, or call 1-800-340-7091 for a catalog.
Protecting your home with a security system is a must. But when it comes to protecting your family, your home, and belongings, there's no need to sign a long-term contract. Listen, there is some real scum in the alarm business, cashing in by locking you into long, punishing contracts. Not with Simply Safe Home Security. They're the good guys. You can trust Simply Safe to protect your family. Simply Safe was created by a Harvard Business School engineer, and it's revolutionary. You'll get 24-hour protection for just $14.99 a month. There are no hidden fees and no contracts. You'll save thousands. Plus, you're protected by their 100% money-back guarantee. Protect yourself against home invasions and break-ins. Order your Simply Safe system now and receive a wireless keychain remote, a $25 gift, free. So don't waste your time dealing with scum. Visit GetSimplySafe.com. GetSimplySafe.com. GetSimplySafe.com.
All right, I just tweeted it out. Guns make us safer. Here are 18 facts why.
We now take you live to the Central Texas Command Center in the heart of the resistance.
Where I'm jumping the gun.
Alex Jones.
I'm going to go back to your phone calls here, and it's some other very important news I haven't gotten to after we take more calls. But I want to encourage people to be citizen journalists, but also citizen satirists, citizen town criers, rabble-rousers. There's a war going on. I'm completely freaked out that Big Pharma is on record being eugenics-based since it was founded, and that they're carrying out debilitating soft kill operations against everyone. And that's a fact. And again, it's compartmentalized. The average doctor, the average hospital, they just follow the orders of the bioethics boards that are eugenicists. It's illegal to take a teenage girl and cut her ovaries out. You're like, well, why don't they just tie her tubes? They want to do whatever's the most brutal and can't be reversed out in California. But they've been caught doing it by the tens of thousands a year again. No one will get in trouble because it was sanctioned. You can go, well, there are too many poor people. Folks, they've dumbed everybody down. We all look poisoned and, quasi-debilitated because we've been under soft kill. They've got to dumb us down, cut off our resources, make us dependent, get us on the grid before they roll out with the next phase of their eugenics operation. And again, I've not just reverse engineered their program. I know all this because they're on record saying it's the plan. And that's why I'm here warning you. Well, we did this first a few months ago, and then the LifeSite people did it, and the student activist groups did it, and now Mark Dice has done it, and he always seems to do it best because he's a smart guy, but also because he's out in L.A., where they have got some of the dumbest, most evil, government-loving people I've ever seen in my life. And Obama supporters signed petition calling for killing of newborn babies under Obamacare. And Mark wisely blurred their faces out of these people. Not that he has any liability. They did it as news gathering. You do it, you're on. You only got to get permission if you're in a public place if it's for entertainment purposes. But if you're in a public place and, that's it. No perception of privacy. That's how the cops can videotape you. And that's how, that's why they're in the wrong when they come up to you and say you can't videotape them. As long as you're not interfering with what they're doing, getting in the middle of lawful duties, it's official oppression and criminal when they try to stop you. But the point is that Obama supporters, so this has been done on the East Coast, Austin, and in California. And here in Austin, more than half the people said, kill babies after they're born for Obama. If they'll get some more welfare. You'll get more welfare if we kill babies. Oh, well, let's kill them immediately. Like Bill Gates, if we kill Granny, we can hire 10 teachers. They're like, kill her, kill her, kill her. As if they're going to kill Granny and give you something, moron. As if a government like that isn't pure evil. And this video is up on Infowars.com. The guy's got a kid on his shoulders as he signs a petition to kill babies after they're born. And this all started last year when Paul Watson dug up the Journal of Bioethics calling for killing babies up to age 3, even healthy ones. And now they're saying, old people, you don't really have a good life. Your knees are bad. You can't see good. We're going to deny care. And they get you into a socialist system so they can deny you the care and make we're going to give it to the young people. And the young people are like, yeah, old lady, I warehouse my parents. I'm going to warehouse you and get your goods. And that, you fools, that's only going to work for a certain period of time. My mother yesterday, driving back from the funeral, she says, why do you do that evil laugh? And I said, well, it's painful. These things are painful to me. And so I basically note it as this is the spirit of what they're doing. It's like a sick laugh back at the devil. It's like, yeah, I know what you are. And I'm laughing at everybody out there so they get the fact they're being laughed at. I'm laughing at you as the New World Order's laughing at you, hoping somebody's got some pride, somebody's got some dignity, somebody's got some survival instincts out there. I mean, I look at these, I can even see somebody who's into themselves. The walk they'll have is this little satisfied walk and the satisfied look, and they'll go, so what? They're not killing me. So what if Obama's spying on me? I like him. I'm in the winning club, yeah. It's disgusting. So that story's up on Infowars.com. I'm going to tweet that out. I guess Watson just did, actually. Just unbelievable. Let me show you the articles if you're a TV viewer. Not go there. You can see it all. By the way, these are weapons. The enemy showing their evil. We need to exploit all this, folks. Go out and show the scum. Go out and show how they're begging to be destroyed. By the way, these people, in their ignorance, they all deserve to be destroyed. I don't deserve to be destroyed. And you don't deserve to be destroyed. And I don't like the New World Order running all this. They really deserve to be destroyed. Inhuman scum that are building a giant predatory civilization. It's easier to build a predatory civilization. It's easier to break things and then call yourself the hero. It's easier to stage terror attacks and then strut around in your stupid combat outfits. But it's only easier short-term. Long-term, it creates hell on earth. So Obama supporters signed petition calling for killing newborn babies under Obamacare. DHS trooper who performed roadside cavity search gets her job back. State police announce they're going to 1 glove, 2 women, 4 orifices. They're going in. And if you don't like it, they'll murder you. So there you go. You don't like it, they'll taser you. Next, they'll gun you down and high five and go back to the base and go, it's manly to kill these people. And the New World Order is going to get your bank accounts too, and your kids are going to die of cancer. So get ready to be murdered by your devil that you love so much. Let's continue here. Former NSA boss, government will continue surveillance, so get used to it. That's right, just slapping us upside the head, letting the slaves know it's their country now. So go to Walmart, eat some GMO, and weigh 500 pounds and get ready for death so we can harvest your organs. Man says off-duty cops beat him up, left him for dead. Official embassy attack threat had no basis in fact. Will you tell them put that back to the top of the site and red link it, please? That's a big deal. IRS refuses to answer Congressman on AR-15s for standoff capability of the American people. Well, every criminal agency wants to be a tough guy warrior and fight the enemy of the American people. They all want to be part of the great bring down of America. They're having a great success, too. 10,000+% increase in pediatric cancer. The victories are good. The victories are strong. You're not just tasting man flesh, you're killing younglings. Why, your satanic power is growing, isn't it? Yeah, you can feel the demonic fire you fly into like a moth into the incinerator. All of you begging to die, begging to be slaves, begging to revel in evil, begging to be part of it, begging to join with it. And you will have your destruction. Let's go ahead and talk to Russ in Pennsylvania. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm freaked out right now, actually.
I understand that. Hey, I just wanted to say, long time listener, first time caller. Been listening since I was like 14. But yesterday I was at a music festival and I saw an illegal arrest. Like it happened about 5 feet like in front of me. They, acting like Gestapos, asking for the guy's ID, and he just wanted to know what he did. And they threatened him with arrest if he didn't show them his ID, which is, illegal. But,
so what if it's illegal in the Bill of Rights and Constitution and thousands of court rulings it's illegal? So what? They're doing it for your own good. Take some shots. Have a convulsion. Come on.
Exactly. I approached the police officer after the incident happened, and I asked him for his badge number. They flat out refused. He walked away from me after when I asked
scum! What do you think this is, America? You scum! You're lucky he didn't. You're lucky he didn't beat your brains out. You filth.
I know it was crazy. So I called the police department this morning. The Bethlehem Police Department. And,
we'll have to put you on a list and show you some respect, punk.
Called them, and I talked to him, told him the situation. He goes, and the 2 questions they kept on asking me, are you a lawyer? Because I know the law.
Well, no. The idea is no one's allowed to talk to us but a lawyer. It's, again, the ether is ignorance. They swim in an ocean of their own ignorance as well.
Exactly, and I just wanted to get that word out. That I asked for the desk sergeant's badge number. He told me he wasn't going to give it to me, and he hung up.
Now,
it's ridiculous.
I think those officers are good, and since they support the system, they should take all the vaccines and get ready to have their hands and feet go numb and have health problems and have their kidneys fail and get diabetes and die. Do it for the government. Show us how good you are, heroes. Yeah! Time to die. Thank you, Russ. It's time to love your government. Prove how good you are. Let's talk to Truth Raider in Oregon. What is that, FEMA Region 9? You're on the air, slave.
FEMA Region 10, sir.
Good.
The truth shall make you free. And healthy and alive, too.
Have you taken extra shots?
No, sir.
Drink your fluoride, kook. Take your shots.
No.
Eat your GMO. Worship the government. And Obama said his spying on you illegally is like washing the dishes. Come on, you know he loves you.
I refuse. On the Constitution and
what's wrong with killing babies up to age 3 now? It's trendy.
Good afternoon, brother. Hey, I attended a LaRouche PAC satellite meeting a few days ago, and they want to reinstitute the Glass-Steagall firewall.
It's a good idea, but it's a bad idea. We should let foreign banks run everything and money launder and do whatever they want. How dare you, scum? You even know the name of laws. You must be a terrorist.
Terrorist for freedom and liberty and the pursuit of happiness.
Go ahead, terrorist. What else is on your mind?
Oh, well, I looked at it and said, that's wonderful, but you guys are not looking at the total big picture on a global scale. I mean, look at this. I mean, it's like, take, for example, it's like a figure of speech. It's like a one-legged mountain climber trying to climb Mount Everest in a snowstorm, and at night, for good measure. I mean, it's a difficult task.
Yeah, but if you got Glass-Steagall back in, where the investment banks couldn't infect everything else with what they're doing, it would really put the kibosh on their system.
Yeah, and I'm all for it, but it's going to be tough. Trying to limp along.
I know, that's why I recommend we just drink more fluoride. There won't be any pain. Those coffins are mighty warm down there.
Yeah.
I hear you. I appreciate your call, Truth Raider. I don't agree with some of the stuff the LaRouche PAC people are into and all that. But in the final equation, getting the Glass-Steagall back in is really a good solution. But the big solution is realizing we have a predatory, occupied government, and that isn't just rhetoric. And they're trying to mop up what's left. And they're announcing, yeah, there'll be army checkpoints. Yeah, we're going to disappear bloggers now. Yeah, we're spying on you. What's the big... We run Al-Qaeda. Of course we do. The TSA is going to be at the mall. And I saw footage in San Antonio. Everybody's like, what's wrong with them searching everybody at the mall? I like it. How dare you not like it? You've got a bunch of dumbed-down people who want to be destroyed, and they will be. Let's go ahead and talk to Howie in Washington. I guess FEMA Region 10 again. Howie, how are you doing up there with Bill Gates?
All right.
Have you had your shots?
I don't take shots.
Well, Bill Gates is coming out with it where it's sprayed over your city and put in your food to make sure you're a good boy and go to sleep forever.
Well, I understand that, sir. But my questions are, what's with this fetal baby parts in my Pepsi and all my food?
Well, that's all part of the bizarreness. But 2 years ago, I first heard that, didn't believe it, confirmed it was true, confirmed they had a shareholder meeting where the shareholders said, get it out, and Obama signed an order saying, no, they're allowed to keep it in. And so you will drink baby essence. I mean, I'm telling you, it's all cuckoo land, man. It's like the golden child or something, and they want us to all be defiled or something. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I go in stores now and I see a Pepsi deal, and I get freaked out by it. That I live in a country, in a world where there's flavoring made out of baby cells, and there's people, with, oh, you want your Pepsi? Ice cold and delicious. And then I'm a weirdo if I go, baby parts. See, I'm the bad one. I'm supposed to just go, can I have some baby-flavored drink? And they'll be like, sure. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Defending the public. The Republic is, I'm a new listener, and I live with a guy that's been a follower of yours for years, and have been listening to, the Infowars from third party. And I moved into this guy after being divorced after a 30-year relationship. And this guy's opened me up to all the Alex Jones.
He sounds like a bad man. I mean, he told you about baby flavoring and the... what's wrong with melting babies down into flavoring? You got to do something with the dead bodies. What kind of freak do you live with that's upset about that? call the police and get a tracer on these guys. We got to have you got to be put in a database. You mean you don't like baby flavoring in Pepsi? You don't think that's freaking people out and bad? I mean, that's a good thing, sir.
It's wrong to be making me eat shit that's not right, and it's.
You know what? We got to let you go. He said a cuss word and we delayed it. It's bad to say a cuss word, but it's not bad to kill babies and put them in Pepsi. Just like you can't write cuss words on your airplane, but you can drop napalm on villages. I want that guy off the air. How dare you be upset by the over-the-chart, Hellraiser level, nightmare science fiction of baby bodies being used for flavoring and vaccines grown on dead fetal tissue. How dare you? How dare you? I apologize to the listeners that we had an extremist call in who thinks it's bad to kill babies and use them as flavoring in drinks. By the way, I want to send my crew out doing that, going out with Pepsi saying, you know, they use fetal flavoring, but you got to add Obama supports it. Because, you know, Pepsi did get behind him. That's all part of the sick joke, too. And the head of Pepsi's a big Bilderberg person. And so you go out and you go, hey, you know, they're just recycling the fetal tissue. People sued over it, but Obama blocked it. You know, they have a right, and it's for Obama. And they will, I guarantee you, you could probably give them a dead baby, and they would go, it's for Obama. And they just go, rah, and start eating it. I mean, it's just like, that's it. That's the plan here, is we need some fetal tissue. Why not start selling it at the grocery store? Locally here, you can have baby. Well, I mean, actually, they get upwards of over $1,000 on average, sometimes about 10 grand for a baby. All the stuff they render down out of it. Because, see, Pepsi said, look, technically, we just take baby cells and then grow the flavor enhancement in their cells as the original batch, kind of like yeast making bread. So it's like, oh, it's a derivative of dead babies. Let's be technical here. I mean, it's really no big deal. By the way, human flesh is filled with all sorts of viruses and stuff too, but that's no big deal. Plus, they spray live viruses on almost all meat now, grown in giant tanks. Why don't you look that up? But it's all good. It's all good. There's no devil. There's no problem. There's no evil.
Hello, this is Ty Bollinger, author of the best-selling book, Cancer, Step Outside the Box. I want you to know some very important information. In 1985, President Ronald Reagan requested that Carnivora be sent directly to the White House at a time when only the president could obtain this world-class healer. Now, 27 years later, Carnivora capsules are used around the world to keep people healthy. Now you can protect yourself and your loved ones in this age of superbugs with 17 naturally occurring compounds that instinctively respond to abnormal cells only without harming a single normal cell. If you want to stay healthy, now's your chance to literally wake up your critical immune cells to attack harmful invaders that don't belong in your body. Call 1-866-VENUS-FLY or order from carnivora.com. That's carnivora.com. That's 1-866-836-8735, 1-866-VENUS-FLY, or visit carnivora.com. Protect your immune system. It's the only one you've got.
It's hurricane and wildfire season again. Why do thousands of people sit in these reoccurring problem areas year after year, betting their lives that the disaster won't get them? Hundreds of you helped eFoods Direct ship 50,000 donated meals to the Oklahoma victims. The problem is we can't help everybody. If every one of us who can will take care of ourselves, we can all pitch in to take care of those who really can't. The new Just In Case pack from eFoods Direct is the big brother to the 7-day emergency pack designed for Oklahoma disaster donations. It contains a 2-month supply for one person, or a 1-month supply for 2 adults, or a 2-week supply for a family of 4. The $320 price is $50 less than retail. Call 800-409-5633 on the web efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Order 2 or more, get 10% off, free shipping applies. Call 800-409-5633 on the web efoodsdirect.com/Alex.
Wouldn't it be nice to have one product that replaces more than 10, saving you space, time, and money? HempUSA.org has a complete full-spectrum vitamin mineral detox formulation called Micro Plant Powder Gold. Micro Plant Powder Gold contains 101 vitamins, minerals, probiotics, and iodine. Has a 100-year shelf life and is a perfect addition to any storage shelter. Make Micro Plant Powder Gold your choice. Call 888-910-4367 or visit HempUSA.org today.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit, then carting to a private bank, having it lent back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Ted Anderson, I'm placing a free silver dollar in a book that explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Take some final calls here, and I want to cover Swift's modest proposal here in just a moment, tying it into eating the babies. This isn't the first time. In fact, every culture ends up sacrificing and killing and eating babies. I guess we joke around about it, but to the New World Order, it's very important to eat the babies. Let's talk about efoodsdirect.com/Alex. When my friends at eFoods Direct provided 50,000 meals to the victims of the Oklahoma tornadoes, they learned what those people needed. They told eFoods they needed immediate access to at least 4 to 6 week food supply. Hurricane season is right around the corner. Just in time, eFoods announces their newest product, the just-in-case food supply, a 2-month supply for one person, or a convenient 1-month supply for 2 people. It has 352 servings of their most popular food in convenient grab-and-go 13-gallon bucket, perfect for any situation, and their cooking kit to order, and you're ready to go. Add their cooking kit to your order, they're ready to go. You get both for only $379. You can save up to $75 off retail price when you get the just-in-case supply and cooking kit. And they're still offering free shipping, 800-409-5633, 800-409-5633, or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex and check that out. Okay, document cam, please, for TV viewers, but a modest proposal for preventing children of poor people from being a burden to their parents or country and making them beneficial to the public by Dr. Swift. And this is the famous modest proposal put out by Jonathan Swift. A modest proposal is a satirical essay written and published anonymously by Jonathan Swift in 1729. Swift suggests that the impoverished Irish might ease their economic troubles by selling their children as food for rich gentlemen and ladies. The satirical hyperbole mocks heartless attitudes towards the poor, as well as the Irish policy in general. In English writing, the phrase, a modest proposal, is now conventional as an allusion to the style of straight-faced satire. But it's not satire that we eat our dead children now. How about a nice cold Pepsi? I went and told McAdoo about this. I guess she didn't know about it because I ran into her and I said, she goes, what? There's baby parts are used in Pepsi additives? She thought I was joking. And I went, no, McAdoo, I'm not joking. So we need to give her all those articles and everything. I mean, this is, you know what? I don't blame her for thinking I was joking. When I first saw this 2.5 years ago, I thought it was a joke. And then when callers call up, then I thought, well, surely the shareholders are suing over this. Surely this will stop. And it didn't. Yeah, there it is. Obama agency rules Pepsi's use of aborted fetal cells in soft drinks constitutes ordinary business operations. I'm just so sick, man. Hey, why didn't Matt Damon make a movie about that? About all the little Chinese kids getting melted down to be added to Pepsi. Oh, no. Oh, no. He's going to make a movie about a bunch of whites being the cause of all the problems in the world. How about evil, self-serving people that don't care about humanity? How about them being the problem? How about the general public being lazy and not informed and not aggressive about their liberty? How about you're the problem? I tell you, when I'm walking down the street and somebody makes a smart mouth comment to me, usually I try to ignore it, but sometimes I start talking to them, and then fans will walk by and shake my hand, and that always makes them real angry. That, oh, this guy's got supporters. That makes me feel bad. Because in their whole world, I notice losers will say, oh, that guy's doing real bad. Oh, he's over. He failed. They'll imagine their competition is failing. We were having a business meeting a few weeks ago at a local restaurant bar and saw some guy bugging his eyes out at me, laughing at me. And he walked over, was talking crap about me right next to me on the table. And then he watched, like, all these people come over and shake my hand. He got real mad and left. It was like, oh, my gosh, freedom's popular. It's horrible. What am I going to do? Nightly News Tonight, 7. Infowarsnews.com.
Visit GCN.
Share your memberships to prisonplanet.tv. Wake up! Why does the United States spend the largest percentage of GDP in the world on healthcare? Why do we have the highest cancer rates on the planet, the highest rates of diabetes, autism, and every other major disease? It all comes down to one thing. We are what we eat. Our food is devoid of nutrition and processed with poison.